If you've been telling yourself, I'll start budgeting when I have more money, here's the truth that finally gets you moving. People don't budget because they're rich. They get rich because they budget. You don't need a perfect salary, a color-coded spreadsheet, or a personality transplant to get control of your money in 2026. You need a few simple rhythms that keep working, even when you're tired, busy, or tempted. This is your beginner-friendly, low-stress playbook. 10 easy tips stitched into one smooth routine you can start tonight, even if there's more month than money right now. Begin with a clean definition. Budgeting with little money isn't about scolding yourself or memorizing categories. It's about building a week you can run on autopilot. When decisions happen on dates instead of moods, a low income stops turning into high stress. The goal isn't to become perfect, it's to become predictable. Predictable beats perfect in every household I've ever seen. Tip 1. Put your money on rails so the plan survives bad Wednesdays. Route every bit of income, paychecks, tips, freelance payments, into a quiet staging account with no card attached. From there, schedule 4 automatic moves on dates you won't forget. On payday, the first transfer pays your future, a tiny deposit to savings, and if you're investing, a small contribution that leaves before lifestyle hears the news. In the first week of the month, your fixed bills draft from a bills-only account. Rent, utilities, phone, insurance, minimum debt payments, so late disappears and fees stop stealing groceries. The day after payday, tiny drips fill labeled sinking funds for predictable irregulars. Tires and service, copays, gifts, school, pet, December tickets. Every Friday, a weekly card refills to carry groceries and ordinary life, so drift can't last more than 6 days. With Rails, you stop trying to be good and start running a calendar. Budgeting begins to feel like nothing happening on a Friday, which is exactly what winning feels like. Tip 2. Use a weekly number instead of 100 categories. When money is tight, categories become quicksand. A single weekly amount is easier to remember and harder to break. Pick a flat number that covers groceries and ordinary life, and refill the weekly card on the same morning every week. When it's gone, the week is over. If there's money left, roll it forward or sweep it to savings. One messy day can't wreck a month. At most, it steals a few days the next refill repairs. This trick turns your budget from a debate into a rhythm you can keep while human. Tip 3. Build a tiny sleep fund fast. People call it an emergency fund. I prefer the name that describes what it does. Start with 1 week of essential expenses, quickly. Rent, lights, basic food, transit, minimum payments. This is not 6 months tomorrow. It's oxygen so a surprise doesn't detonate your plan. Park it in a simple savings account you won't poke. Once the first week exists, climb to 1 month, then toward 3 to 6 months as your responsibilities grow or your income gets spikier. Align your insurance deductibles to the size of this fund so emergencies become errands. A small buffer turns chaos into inconvenience, and inconvenience is cheap. Tip 4. Treat debt like a calendar, not a confession. Shame doesn't pay balances, schedules do. Put every minimum on autopay in week 1 from the bills account, so late fees die forever. Then choose one target balance and send a steady, survivable extra every payday until it's gone. If math motivates you, attack the highest APR, avalanche. If momentum keeps you engaged, kill the smallest balance first, snowball, and roll the freed payment forward. While you sprint to your first week of savings, it's okay to pause extra debt payments for a couple of cycles. Resume after stage 1. The goal isn't instant debt-free. It's to stop using the card as your emergency fund and start letting cash buy time. Tip 5. Design your kitchen and commute for bad weeks, not perfect ones. Food and transport are where small budgets quietly bleed. 2 default 10-minute dinners you can cook half asleep, a freezer whiteboard listing what you already own, and a 1-hour Sunday batch, beans, roasted potatoes, a pot of soup, beat the "I'm tired, let's order" tax every time. For transport, carry a friction kit, water, a snack, a charger, a small towel, a bandage, a spare 20. Batch errands into a single weekly loop. These tiny props have a boring superpower. They keep you from buying relief at surge pricing. In 2026, with everyone selling speed, you buy calm, with groceries and a bag that's ready. Tip 6. Run the 10-minute weekly logistics check-in. Put it on your calendar like brushing your teeth. Same time each week, sit with a drink and answer 4 questions. Did the transfers run? Is the bills account funded? Is the weekly card on track? And are there any irregulars, dentist, license renewal, field trip coming in the next 2 weeks? Move money into the right sinking fund now. Then schedule one small joy you'll fund on purpose. The joy matters. Plans that ignore joy invite rebellion. Calendars are cheaper than fights, and this tiny appointment saves more money than a drawer full of coupons. Tip 7. Install a cooling-off queue for wants and make the app work for you. 24 hours for small items, 30 days for toys. Write the item and today's date in a note. Half the desires will evaporate. The rest will improve. A used version, a better tool, or the realization that you wanted the feeling, not the object. Move shopping apps 2 screens deep, unsubscribe from brand emails you never asked for, and start sessions at your budget app instead. Attention is a budget. Guarding it is the cheapest upgrade you will make this year. Tip 8. Give the problem category its own card. If you always slip in one lane, restaurants, ride shares, hobby supplies, quarantine it with a separate prepaid or debit card funded weekly. When it's empty, that category is finished for the week without punishing rent or groceries. This is envelope budgeting without envelopes. It lets you enjoy the fun lane with a speed limit that protects the highway. Tip 9. Create a top-up sweep so you hit your target savings rate without micromanaging. If your goal is to save, say, 10 or 20% of take-home in 2026, set your automatic transfers just below that number. Then, once a month, run a sweep from checking to savings or investments to top you up to the target based on what actually happened. If the month was messy, the sweep is small. If it was smooth, the sweep makes the math true. You hit the rate without inspecting every receipt, and your plan adapts without drama. Tip 10. Grow income with receipts, not hope, and route raises through rails. You cannot coupon clip your way to freedom if your earning power never improves. Open a simple note labeled Receipts Outcomes. Anytime you create measurable value at work, dollars saved by a process you improved, errors prevented by a checklist you wrote, revenue created by a project you shipped, days shaved from a timeline, record it with numbers. Every 9 to 12 months, trade those receipts for title, rate, or flexibility. When a raise lands, route the entire increase through a 90-day quiet period so lifestyle waits its turn. During that window, bump your weekly number if it truly needs it, fatten the sleep fund, fill dry sinking funds, and pay extra on one target balance. A small income bump becomes a permanent budget upgrade when rails get it first. Now, let's stitch these tips into a single day-to-day routine so you can feel what budgeting with little money actually looks like. On payday, your income lands in staging. A small automatic transfer leaves for savings. Maybe it's only $10 or 10 euros at first. That's fine. The point is not the amount, it's the rhythm. If you invest, a tiny contribution goes to a simple index fund, also automatic, also boring. The rest of payday is paperwork. No debate, no guilt. Week 1, every fixed bill drafts from the bills account: rent, lights, phone, minimum payments. You stop being late, and the fees that used to eat your groceries vanish. The day after payday, 5 or 6 labeled sinking funds get a few dollars each. The names matter: tires and service, copays, gifts, school, pet, December tickets. When life happens, you pay with money you prepared during a quiet week, not with panic at a checkout screen. Every Friday, the weekly card refills with the same number you chose. When it's gone, the week is over. If you drift, the next refill rescues you. If you crush it and there's money left, you roll it forward or sweep it to savings. Nothing dramatic, just a household that keeps its promises while you're tired. Because 2026 will still have inflation jitters in some corners and discounts in others, add one seasonal habit: a quarterly rebuy ritual. Pull up your recurring charges: subscriptions, memberships, insurance, internet, mobile. Read each one out loud and ask, would I buy this again today at this price? If the answer isn't clean, pause or cancel. Product change fee-bearing cards to no-fee versions to keep account history. Call your providers and politely ask for a better rate. It takes 10 minutes and pays you all year. Redirect every dollar you free to the sleep fund and sinking funds first. This is how small budgets create breathing room without changing jobs. Renegotiate what you already have and keep the savings on the calendar. When money is tight, you need a kitchen that forgives you. Pick 2 10-minute dinners you actually like, stock their ingredients, and write them on a freezer whiteboard so your eyes remember before your thumbs open a delivery app. Batch cook 1 hour on Sundays. Keep breakfast and lunch boring by design during your first 90 days. Oats or eggs, soup or leftovers. You're not giving up joy. You're removing chaos so joy can fit. For transport, set a 5-mile rule for essentials. Batch errands into a single loop and keep the friction kit in your bag. A bottle of water and a charger will save you more money this year than any coupon you clip. If your income is variable, pay yourself the same Safe Friday number from a buffer. All invoices land in staging. You skim a small percentage for taxes, if applicable, a small slice for the sleep fund, and then you transfer your safe number to the household every Friday like a salary. The buffer is not extra cash, it's payroll. It turns feast and famine into rhythm. Rhythm makes budgets work when life doesn't cooperate. In tight months, the sweep to hit your savings target is small. In fat months, it's bigger. Either way, the household keeps the beat. What about debt during this season? Keep the minimums on autopay in week 1 and choose one target balance. If you need momentum, pick the smallest. If you want math, pick the highest APR. Send a small scheduled extra every payday. Make a mid-cycle micropayment before the statement closes to lower the interest you're charged and the balance that gets reported to credit bureaus for the month. That one timing tweak makes a small budget look like a calmer budget on paper, which can lead to cheaper insurance and lower deposits. You don't need heroics, you need dates. Attention is a budget. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom. Give your first minutes to water, sunlight out a window, and a 2-minute check that your transfers ran. Unsubscribe from emails you never asked for. Move shopping apps 2 screens deep. Install the cooling off cue and write the date next to each desire. Half will vanish by tomorrow. The rest will turn into better choices, used, cheaper, or skipped because you are buying a feeling. That feeling passes. Your budget stays. Budgeting with little money sometimes feels like you're not allowed to have fun. That's backward. You need a Yes on Purpose fund, small, scheduled, and guilt-free for pleasures you will not regret. A dinner you'll talk about, a train day trip with a thermos, ingredients for a recipe that makes you feel competent, a class that deepens your craft. When joy has a lane, rebellion stops trying to borrow from rent. Ironically, this tiny fund makes saving easier because you're no longer performing deprivation. You're living a plan. Let's put this into rooms because theory gets nervous in real kitchens and cars. A 25-year-old retail worker starts with €50 between paychecks. She routes her wages into staging, sets a €5 savings transfer on payday, rising by €2 each month, drafts bills in week 1, and refills a €60 weekly card every Friday. She adds 3 drips to 5 sinking funds the day after payday. She writes 2 10-minute dinners on her freezer whiteboard and installs a cooling off cue on her phone. She calls her mobile provider and cuts her plan by €12. In 6 weeks, she hits a 1-week sleep fund. In 3 months, she hits 1 month. Nothing dramatic happened. Fridays just got boring. A 32-year-old teacher wants to feel less broke before summer. She moves 1 stop closer to school and friends, which shrinks rideshares and expands walking. She product changes a fee-bearing card to no fee, calls her internet provider, and pauses 2 subscriptions for a quarter. She keeps a note of receipts, outcomes at work, uses it to negotiate a small raise, then runs a 90-day quiet period where the raise fattens her sleep fund and sinking funds before lifestyle hears the news. Her weekly number stays the same. The pressure drops anyway. A self-employed designer with feast and famine months decides budgets have failed her. She separates business and household money, opens staging and bills accounts, and pays herself the same Safe Friday number from a buffer. All invoices skim a slice for taxes and a slice for savings before anything else. She builds a trunk kit so a missing cable stops costing a day. For the first time, her household runs like a salary. The budget finally fits because the cash flow stopped arguing with the calendar. You will wobble. Everyone does. You will overshoot a week, a transfer will fail, a tire will eat your new savings. The rule that rescues everything is never miss twice. If a week overshoots, trim the next. If a transfer fails, resume on payday. If the sleep fund takes a hit, refill it before anything else. Perfection isn't available. Rhythm is. The people who suddenly got disciplined didn't. They got designed. Before we wrap, here's the smallest ceremony to start tonight. Rename 2 accounts, staging rails, and sleep fund. Schedule 4 transfers. Payday savings, even €5, week 1 bills, day after payday drips into your labeled sinks, and the Friday weekly card refill. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom, put a whiteboard on your freezer, and write 2 10-minute dinners. Build a friction kit for your bag or trunk. Open a note called Receipts, Outcomes, and write 1 useful thing you did today with a number attached. Run a 15-minute rebuy ritual and cancel 1 charge you wouldn't buy again today. Then let Friday arrive and notice the quiet signal that your budget is working. Nothing. The transfer leaves, the bills draft, the card refills. You feel almost nothing because the plan already knows what to do. In a few months, your budget won't be a spreadsheet to brag about. It will be a week that costs less to run, a card that refills without drama, a sleep fund that exists, and a calendar that does the arguing so you don't have to. Your inbox will sell you fewer feelings. Your kitchen will beat delivery on tired nights. Your commute will cost less because your loop is tighter. You'll still wobble, and then you'll repair quickly, never miss twice, and the slope will resume. People will say you got lucky. You'll know you got scheduled. That's how you start budgeting with little money in 2026. Not with guilt, but with choreography.